Farmlands in Valley of Peace remain under several feet of water. Below are thousands of vegetables rotting. In this area, for example, that's all farmland covered by floodwaters. This area has been underwater for several days, and where the water has receded, those plants remain buried under thick mud, like this patch of cabbage, battered and flattened by the floods. In this area alone, there are approximately 60,000 heads of cabbage destroyed by the floods.
The flooding was extremely high. As you could see, still water on the crops, and it is a complete loss. This will not be something that could be recovered. So to the point that we see is everything is lost at these fields. This is one of the biggest flooded I have ever seen this zone.
And it covered all the crops to the back here.
Yes, I think it goes more than 15 to 20 feet over the crops, so it's very huge floodings.
The water is high, and so farmers are still assessing their losses. As the country's biggest cabbage producer, the Valley of Peace Farmers Association's cabbage crop has been hit hard, almost wiped out. They expect to still be able to supply a small quantity to the markets. But does this mean a hike in price or imported cabbage for the local market?
I could tell you that the crop that was most is cabbage. It was the one that is affected now.
And how many acres of cabbage did the farmers have planted in this area?
In this area, approximately was 60,000 plants that was in this area, right there. But we have more, and in the other side that we still will have cabbage to the market, but not enough.
Would that leave the country in a position once again to have to import, do you think?
Well, I cannot say right now but when we finish the survey that we are going to do, and then we could determine if yes or no. But it's a possibility that maybe they will need to import some of the cabbage that the market will demand.
The tomato and sweet pepper crops were also affected. Chairman Ever Blandon says that with their crops wiped out, consumers may also see market shortages if other farming communities do not have large quantities in the soil.
The second one is tomatoes. That one is very affected. I do know that Moscow also lost a lot of tomatoes, so to gathering all the information right now, I think the tomato will get scarce in the market.
A shortage Belizeans can perhaps expect.
Yeah.
Okay. And after tomatoes, you had one other crop affected?
Yes, sweet pepper is another one, even though there were some in cover structure, but still there's a lot of damage due to the flooding, even though it was covered, but the water goes from the side. So still I think there will be a shortage if in the north they don't have enough.
The Valley of Peace Farmers Association say every farmer sustained losses. For some, their entire fields were destroyed. These destroyed cabbage patch and tomato fields mean no money in the pockets for these farmers. Chairman of the association, Ever Blandon, say they're worried about the tough times ahead. They need urgent help to get planting again. This is the second flood they've experienced in the span of a few months.
To me, it's a little bit worried how the association could help them to start over, as the relief from the government take up sometime a little bit of time. So it's very difficult to farmers what's happened now. Right now, the thing is that farmers have been suffering from one loss to another, so it's very difficult to them to start over immediately. So to me, it's that they need an assistance as soon as possible. The thing is that farmers have family, and kids, they ask for food, they don't ask if there is money for buy food, so there is a very hard moment to farmers.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.